Today we're going to talk about Module 6, Congruent and Similar Triangles. First of all, let's talk about corresponding parts and corresponding angles, which will move us into our reasons for similarity and for congruence. If I have a triangle, ABC, and I have another triangle, let's just say DEF, that when I'm given this statement, that's just a triangle symbol, ABC, and that's congruence to triangle DEF. What that means is for a triangle to be congruent, it means that its angles match and its sides match, everything matches, it's all equal. The big deal is if he's in the first position, that's who he matches. So angle A is congruent to angle D. B is in the second position, means he matches angle E. So angle B and angle E are congruent. And then you have angle C in the third and angle F. So angle C and angle F are congruent. Why is that important to know? Part of your work was just taking congruent, finding missing parts. If I know that this side is congruent to this side, then I can set up an equation that the two are equal, and therefore I can solve for x or the missing side, and I can also plug back in. There's a difference, and be careful because both answers are always there. If it asks you to solve for x, it's just asking you for the value. If it's asking you to solve for AB, that's the side, then you need to plug x in and solve. Both answers will be there. That's the biggest mistake people make. They find this value sometimes, and it's not asking for that, and then they jump on it, and then they say, oh, it's there, so I get that answer when they really needed this side. So just be careful always what you're asking for. Part of your work is going to say which angle. It's going to say angle A is 50. What's angle D? Well, it's 50 because they're congruent. Angle B is this. What's angle E? They're congruent. So, what is it? Same thing with AB, it's congruent to DE. Mark your angles and check your work. The only thing different with similarity, if I have similarity before we talk about all the rules, is similarity. The difference is I have congruent angles, but then my sides are proportional, which means that I could set up a proportion of side matching side over side matching side. Remember, proportion just looks like this, and then we cross multiply and divide. So we can still find that side, but it's proportional. It's not congruent. It's the only thing different is the sides for similarity. And just to kind of review, the similarity symbol is just a little squiggly. All right, so let's first start talking about congruent triangles, and then we'll talk about similar triangles. So with congruent triangles, all right, there are 5 reasons why triangles are congruent. All right, so the first one's called side, side, side. That means, and I'm just going to draw one triangle, but it would match the other triangle. But the markings would say that this side, well, let me go ahead and draw this over here, sorry. It's congruent to this side. 2 tick marks go with the 2 tick marks, and the 3 tick marks go with the 3 tick marks. That's saying this side's congruent to this side, this side's congruent to this side, and this side's congruent to this side, so my triangle's congruent by side, side, side. Then we have side, angle, side. With side, angle, side, you have a side that's congruent. The angle has to sit in between the other side that's congruent. It's like going around the wave. Side, angle, side. Side, angle, side. Does it have to be at the top? No, it could be the side here, the angle here, and the side here. That doesn't matter. It just matters that between these two sides, there's an angle in the middle. That's why it's saying side hit an angle, hit a side. That's what it's saying. The third one says angle, side, angle. Looks a little different, not too bad. So on this one here, I have an angle that matches. I have the side between the next angle that matches. So it's an angle, the side, then they hit the next angle. All of this is hitting things in order. That's all you got to remember. You're hitting them in order. So I'm going around this triangle. I have an angle, a side, and an angle. I don't have like here, here, and another side. Okay, that would be this one for angle, angle, side. It means that I hit an angle. I hit another angle before I hit that matching side. So the difference of these two is I hit an angle, I hit an angle, I hit a side. I hit an angle, I hit a side, I hit an angle. Tells you right here the order you hit things. And they're in exact order, like going around the triangle. The last little wonky one, you don't see much of him, is called hypotenuse leg. He can only be in a right triangle because you know a hypotenuse is in Pythagorean theorem, which is in our next unit. So with this, we have a hypotenuse, which always comes directly across from the right angle. If you remember from algebra, there's my hypotenuse. So it's going to have a hypotenuse that's in common, and then it doesn't matter which leg. Both of these are legs. So it doesn't matter which leg matches. It's just going to be a hypotenuse and a leg. And there's not another one. You don't have angle, side, side. That's not a theorem. So therefore, it's the only one that could be if it's a right triangle. Has to be a right triangle. Now, similarity is a little different. It doesn't have as many. It's a little different, but it's pretty much the same guys. So with similarity, you only have 3 that we can talk about. So the first one, same as the other one. Now remember, our angles are congruent, but our sides are proportional. So when you're looking at this right here, your sides won't match, but they'll be in proportion. He'll be in proportion to him, he'll be in proportion to him, and he'll be in proportion to him. So what does that mean? Let's just say this is 2, 3, and 4, the sides. If they're in proportion, that means by the same scale. That's a scale. So if I say the scale here might be 2, so it means I multiplied him by 2 to get 4. I multiplied him by 2 to get 6, him by 2 to get 8. My sides are proportional. If I set up a 2 over his matching side equals 3 over his matching side, when I cross multiplied, I get 12 equals 12. Remember, you cross multiply, it just goes across. So that's what it means it's proportional. So we have side, side, side. We have the other one. Oops, sorry, I didn't put side, side, side there. And you sometimes see a little squiggly after it for similarity. We have side, angle, side, which is the same as before. I have a side that's proportional, an angle that matches, and then another proportional side. And then my last one is angle, angle similarity. This comes out of, this is not for congruence. It would work for congruence only because of the third angle theorem, but it's not a reason a triangle is congruent. Angle, angle just means I have an angle that matches and another angle that matches. So if the 2 angles match, then it has to be proportional because it forces, remember from earlier this unit, it forces our side to be a certain length depending on how wide our angle is. So if my 2 angles match, then these have to be the same width opened. Because remember we were doing with the pencil. If he's 20 like this, then he's going to be 20 like this, and they're going to have to match on that side. So anyway, that's basically everything from this unit. So if you have any questions or concerns, email or message me before you take your test. Have a great day. Appreciate you. Bye.